Hello, my friends. I'm telling you right off the bat, this reading will require courage. I don't know, I haven't read the cards yet, so I don't know who you are. But what happened was I was cleaning up my space a little bit and I found the haystack card, which had obviously run away from the rest of the cards and hidden from me. So, I know that sounds silly. This card though it says karma, you will reap what you have sown. So my question immediately became, what have you sown? That's why I say this will require courage. If you haven't been upfront with yourself, if you haven't done any self-examination to consider what it is that you have sown, if you've never thought about that, then I think this will be a very challenging reading for you. So if you're not ready to deal with that, you should click off now. Just scroll right on by. Anyway, my next question was, because, I need to narrow it down a bit, I asked, who is this reading for? And I got two cards. Actually, the tiger sort of came out, but it was underneath, and I don't usually take the ones that are underneath the other ones. It was underneath the bear. So I usually only take the top card. So there it is, the top card. All right, so first of all, the bear is earth, and the fire ant is obviously fire. The four elemental associations, if that's important to you. I'm going to do the bear first. Waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. I think I did a reading for you guys just pretty recently. Well, I did readings for both of you guys pretty recently. Both of you groups, whichever you are. So apparently you're hanging with me. Anyway. All right, my dear bear person. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. Well, I guess that's why you're brave enough to look at your karma. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When in balance, inner strength, yearning to grow. When out of balance, withdrawal, lethargy, heaviness. To bring into balance, movement and exercise. All right, so just to clarify who the two groups appear to be, we'll do the fire ant, and then we'll do what have you sown. Okay, fire ant. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. So you've been attracted to what's bad for you. You've been attracted to toxic situations, toxic people, a toxic lifestyle. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. When in balance, thoughtful, disciplined. When out of balance, argues, excess heat, gossips. To bring into balance, solo time, and walks at night. All right, this looks to me like two very different groups of people. But, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's one person. Maybe this is who you were before you became the bear person. Any way you look at it, let's see what you have sown. All right. I keep wanting to separate you so I can read for one card and then the other, and then it just feels wrong. It could be that this is what you have sown. If you are the bear person, this could be where you're coming from. So that would be what you have sown. Are you the same person? All right. That's odd. I'm going to try something. So my question is, are you the same person? And I got, okay, King of Earth wants to be sideways. These are really intended to be clarification cards, and especially to be about who. At least that's how I understand it. So. The element of air. Idealistic, communicative, mentally active. The Sun and the King of Earth. Well, I could definitely see the bear person being a King of Earth. And we have the Sun card representing fire, of course, and then air. Not really an answer to my question, though. All right, what if I'm going to assume that, oh, what's this? Oh, there's a card under my foot. Anyway, all right, bear person. I'm going to assume you're coming from a fire ant background. And fire ant person, if you are not yet a bear, that may be what lies in your future. It may not, but it kind of depends on you. But in either case, you have a fire ant background. So that is what you have sown. But to get more specific about it, I'm going to do the tarot. First card up is Seven of Cups in reverse. So a great deal of confusion, a belief in choices that mostly proved to be illusionary. They were not what they seemed to be. Perhaps you made bad choices, bad decisions. And now it seems you're getting some clarity about these decisions, but about the choices that you've made, which is a good thing. You're beginning to see through the clouds, through the fog of your own mental gymnastics. But it doesn't really tell me what you have sown, just that you've made poor decision making as part of your background, which, let's be honest, we've all made bad decisions. Some of them are worse than others. And I think some of them are haunting you. And you want rapid progress. All of this makes perfect sense, but it's still not telling me, what have you sown? Or what will you be reaping? Now, the entire deck's trying to get away from me? We have Three of Cups, mostly in reverse. So, Three of Cups, mostly in reverse, is someone who has overindulged a lot. So that would be partying, friends, prioritizing partying and friends. Whether or not they're real friends is a big question. You have Fire Ant here, so they were probably pretty toxic and not really friends. Whatever you may have thought. But people who choose a party lifestyle aren't really interested in authenticity. So it's to be expected. I'm going to switch to a different deck because the tarot was not being terribly cooperative. What do we need to know about what you have sown? Well, the card almost came out, and then it flipped right back in again. Oh no, I bent a card. What have you sown? Or what do you need to know about what you've sown? Looks like lots of sex and lots of romance. So perhaps you've been a player. And you thought you were clever. So, lots of sex, honestly. But you've wanted to sow, fudge. You've wanted to sow a good family situation. And you got, sorry, these are all off balance. And you got a soulmate, a counterpart, twin flame, some sort of connection that forced you to grow or required you to grow, if it was to grow. And it definitely had a profound impact on your life. I wouldn't say that's what you've sown, because we're talking about karma. Although there are those who believe this kind of relationship has a lot to do with karma. You're not doing well right now, are you? Sorry about the chimes. So, you need to do a lot of healing. Specifically around your ideas about status, wealth, appearances. It can be about enlightenment, but given the Fire Ant card, I'm getting more of an obsession with appearances. What is your karma? You've been aloof, very aloof. You look good. You're spending time alone. You think of yourself as a maverick, a rule breaker. I have serious questions about that. If you're coming up as the fire ant, fire ants are not mavericks, not rule breakers. But you are moving into bear energy, so I'm not sure this is what you have sown. I think it's what you've wanted. Or at least you thought you've wanted. I don't know. It doesn't go together, okay? So we have Maverick, Rule Breaker, Independent, Bold, Rebel, Nonconformist, Fearless, Unconventional, Outside the Box, Defiant, Loose Cannon, Risk Taker, next to Diamond Ring. That's not really commitment energy. I mean, it could be an unconventional relationship that you want to commit to, and in that case, you would have to be a maverick. You would have to be a big, strong, imposing moose. Cool, calm, collected, confident, independent, in order to be strong enough to be in an unconventional, outside-the-box relationship. Which, to be fair, that is the case with a lot of these soulmate connections, or twin flame, or just deep soul connections. A lot of times they are unconventional if you want to make them real in your ordinary, regular life. It will require a great deal of strength, but we still have this mice energy, and the star. Lots of healing required, especially around materialism, appearances. Because all of this says you are not a rule breaker. You are not a maverick. The fire ant also says that you are not a rule breaker, not a maverick. You are someone who is very concerned with the opinions of others. Very concerned with appearances. I'm really surprised by the way this reading is going. This is what I don't understand, this reaping what you have sown, because if you believe in soul contracts, then this may well be how your soul contract is urging things to play out. Doesn't mean that they have to. If you consider it soul contract karma, that would make sense. Now we have Firefly, Illumination, Chemistry, Magical, Self-Discovery, Soul Sparks, Light Codes. You're getting all animal cards now. Enjoyment, Be Present, Rapid Response, Resilient, Sweet Goodness. Lift out of negativity, Lightness of Being. Creative Spark, Someone Exceptional. Well, that would be some pretty nice karma. Maybe this is what you have sown. Once you get through all of the healing. And here I thought you would need to be brave. Well, you might need to be brave because the way you've been living is not going to work. And the final card. White Feather, Peace, Miracles, Purity, Protection, Leap of Faith, Sign, Message, Rise Above, Encouraging, Forgiveness, Reconciliation, and Freedom. Do you see yourself as a divine masculine? I don't know why I end up doing so many divine masculine readings, but do you see yourself as a divine masculine? No? How do you see yourself? We have the Emperor. We have the Prince of Fire, also known as the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Fire, known as the Queen of Wands. So this is all very fiery. I'm not looking for timing here, although this one says in the fall or within 14 to 30 days, and the other one says in the summer or within 7 to 14 days. I think someone, perhaps both of these people, is working on their Emperor energy. So you may see yourself as a Queen of Wands or a Prince of Wands or Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is player energy. Queen of Wands is someone who is warm, charismatic, and caring, where the Knight of Wands is more self-indulgent and a player. I think I said that already. The Emperor, of course, is protective, action-oriented. Someone who leads through example, not by force. So someone who is very secure in themselves and established. They are consistent, disciplined. So this is a pretty amazing karma for you. Maybe you do need to be brave for this, depending on how you feel about it. In any case, it looks like your karma has been to work through all of your issues and to integrate the Emperor, the qualities of the Emperor. Oddly enough, we're not talking about the qualities of the Empress, so I am leaning more towards this being a divine masculine reading. Although there are definitely indications that you may be female. It really doesn't matter whether you're male or female. You have to integrate these qualities into yourself in either case. Regardless of what society keeps telling us about what it means to be male and female, those are just societal programming, societal conditioning. They don't have anything to do with the reality of being a healthy person. Maybe if we lived in a healthier society they would, but we don't. So it looks like your karma is to become or to integrate the qualities of the Emperor. And it won't be easy. You need to remember that. But it's certainly worthwhile. It looks like you also want peace, miracles, purity, protection. Maybe you think you need miracles to clean up your fire ant mess, because that's a lot of toxicity there. And it's great that you've started working on some self-discovery. You are the bear person after all, so you are also working on transforming yourself. Perhaps some alchemy going on there. That's all well and good. I am certainly hoping that you do achieve this peace. And this feels to me like the Star card. So it feels like a connection to the divine. There's light codes. I don't know what light codes are. It doesn't make any sense to me. But if it means something to you, light codes. Creative spark. Soul spark. Magical illumination. Lift out of negativity. Lightness of being. You certainly seem to be headed in the right direction. So, I am impressed. This is very unexpected to me. I was a little nervous doing a karma reading. What are you going to get? Could be something terrible. No, you have something really wonderful. Congratulations. Good luck.